Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to share my screen here for a second. My slide presentation ready for you. So welcome to Spring Clean Your Diet, the 2023 edition. I've been doing this for the past few years, and each year I make the tips a little bit different. And this year, I think there's only one that is the constant throughout all of the presentations, and you'll probably recognize it when we get to it because it's something I talk about all the time. So I like to start out these presentations with a quote. So nothing ever seems impossible in spring, It's from L.M. Montgomery, who is the author of Anne of Green Gables. And can't you just picture Anne saying that? Nothing ever seems impossible in spring, For those of you who are new to me, I would like to introduce myself for a minute. My name is Donna DeRosa. I am the author of two cookbooks, The Big Book of Mediterranean Diet Cooking and The Flexitarian Cookbook for Beginners. I'm also a certified life coach, and I'm a specialist now in the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle. I have two websites, donnaderosa.com, which is my lifestyle website, and I have mostly.mediterranean.com, where you can find all of my recipes. Before we begin, I wanted to take a moment. Let me stop sharing my screen here for a minute, because I want to play us some music. I want us to just take a moment to prepare ourselves, to focus on ourselves, and just take this time. Turn the sound off on your phones, avoid all distractions, close any unnecessary windows that you have open, and let's just do a brief breathing exercise to help us get grounded, and we're going to focus on today's presentation. So we're going to close our eyes, we're going to breathe deeply for a minute, we're going to just take a minute and listen to the music and just get into the mindset of learning and spending time on ourselves. Now, this is a 1-minute technique that you can use whenever you need to take a mental break during the day. Breathing consciously helps us to refocus and relax our bodies. So let's take 1 minute, just close your eyes and just breathe deeply. Listen to the music. Hopefully, I'll turn it up a little. I'm just playing it off my computer, so hopefully you can hear it. So just ground yourself. Breathe in. Slowly let it out. Just let yourself get into the mindset of learning. Just breathe. It's very important to take time for yourself. Just bring clarity. I love this music, but I'm going to turn it off now. Just wanted to give us a moment alone with our thoughts. So let's get to the presentation. Tip number 1 in Spring Clean Your Diet 2023. I've been reading a lot about the MIND diet. Now, the MIND diet is the Mediterranean diet, which I talk about the Mediterranean diet often. It's combined with the DASH diet. The DASH diet is specifically targeted to lowering your blood pressure. So the two of them combined is considered the MIND diet. So these first few tips that I'm going to go through with you are from the MIND diet. The combination of those two plans creating the MIND diet are helpful for brain health. That's why they call it the MIND diet. And studies have shown that eating this way can help slow cognitive decline, such as dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, if you are a follower of me, you know that I had some of this in my family. My mother had dementia. So I'm very conscious about trying to prevent that in my life and the life of my family. So for example, the first tip is to eat more fruit. The Mediterranean diet calls for eating more fruit, but the MIND diet specifically recommends berries as being particularly beneficial. So berries are at their peak in the spring. So now in the spring is a perfect time to add berries to your diet. Now you can Add berries to your breakfast. You can put them in your cereal, in your yogurt, in your oatmeal. You can just eat them on their own. They're great to add to salads. Particular favorite of mine are strawberries. So just find your favorite berries. They're in season right now, and this is the perfect time to add more berries to your diet and to take care of your mind. Tip number 2 from the Mind Diet is to eat more green leafy vegetables. Now, I recommend eating green leafy greens, dark leafy greens particularly, adding them to your diet and eating them every day. The Mind Diet suggests that you should be eating leafy greens at least 6 times a week. So leafy greens include things like spinach and kale and Swiss chard, dandelion greens, turnip tops, beet greens, mustard greens, collard greens. They're all super good for you. I'm probably leaving a few out, but they're the ones that are sort of readily available. You can always find spinach and probably chard in your supermarket. Like I have 2 supermarkets that I go to near me, and one always has spinach and chard and nothing else. The other one has all the other ones like turnip tops and dandelion greens and mustard greens. So sometimes I have to go to 2 stores. But if you can seek them out, try adding them to your meals. And lettuces in general are in season this time of year. So spring again is a perfect time to start trying to add leafy greens to your diet. Now, on the Mediterranean diet, if you think of your dinner plate, so think of your round dinner plate. Now, draw an imaginary line down half of it. I always said that you should be eating half of that plate should be filled with vegetables. And then the other 2 quarters can be filled with a whole grain or beans or fruit or meat or fish or poultry, whatever is your protein source. But half of that plate should be vegetables. But then take a side plate, put it on the side, and fill that with your leafy greens. So add them on top of the half of a plate of vegetables. And I think that is the best way to do it. Now, if you don't know what to do with leafy greens, I mean, things like spinach you could eat as a side salad. When you cook spinach, it gets really tiny, right? A lot of greens behave that way. But you can blanch them for a few minutes. So blanching is when you boil them in water just very briefly, like maybe 3 minutes, and then you pull them out and you plunge them into cold water. It maintains their green color and it cooks them a little bit. Or you can throw them into a saute pan and saute them with a little olive oil. It's really nice to keep them simple. You can add a little garlic, a little salt and pepper, but try to add a side of leafy greens and try to do it 6 times a week. Taking a water break. Step 3, also from the Mind Diet, is to eat nuts. I put nuts and seeds on here because part of the Mediterranean diet is to add nuts and seeds. The Mind Diet suggests at least 5 servings per week of nuts, but they don't really specify what types of nuts. So good choices are walnuts, which are good for curbing your appetite, Brazil nuts, which are, you can pop a few Brazil nuts each day if you're a man and you are having some prostate issues. Brazil nuts are supposedly good for the prostate. There are hazelnuts, cashews, almonds, pecans, and peanuts. And did you know that peanuts are not actually a nut, but they're actually a legume? But we're eating them as peanuts for this purpose, as a nut. So you can eat nuts straight up, or if you prefer, you can eat them as a nut butter. All kinds of nut butters on the market now, that besides peanut butter. Almond butter is really tasty. I've seen all different kinds of cashew butter, macadamia nut butter. So for a tasty, easy breakfast, try adding a nut butter of your choice to a toasted piece of seedy bread. And you're getting your Mediterranean diet benefits. You're getting the seeds and the nuts. But don't forget about seeds. The Mind Diet doesn't particularly mention seeds, but the Mediterranean diet does. Think about seeds like pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas. You'll see them in the store. Sunflower seeds, chia seeds. You can make breakfast puddings out of chia seeds, or ground flax seeds. Don't try to eat flax seeds whole. Ground is much better. They can be sprinkled on your salads. You can put them on top of your nut butter on your toast. You can put them in your oatmeal. You can eat them as a snack. So think about adding nuts and seeds to your diet as well. Now, tip number 4, this is the one that I carry over from every year in the presentation, is to grow some fresh herbs at home. You can grow them in pots right in your kitchen. If you have some outside space, they'll do really well outside. But in your house, they make pretty potted plants. You can use them for cooking. They smell lovely too. Like I love the smell of fresh thyme. And sometimes, all you have to do is like wave it with your hand a little bit, and you'll start to smell the thyme. Or something like basil. I usually grow basil. I have chives. Actually, I have chives growing outside right now, and they just come back on their own every spring. And they're starting to get their little purple flowers on top, and they're edible too. So basil, chives, parsley, rosemary, thyme. There are so many, whatever your favorite, cilantro, sage, anything. So grow your favorites. They have antioxidants, they have anti-inflammatory properties, as well as adding flavor to your meals. And they're a good way to help you reduce the amount of salt that you use when you cook. So spring is the perfect time to plant your favorite herbs. I mean, if you plant basil, basil is so easy to grow. It'll just explode and you'll be making pesto in no time because you're going to have so much basil. So tip number 5 is to eat seasonally. Now, you've probably seen this pattern emerging in this presentation, and I'm telling you all the things that are good for spring. So spring clean your diet is about eating seasonally, and that's all year long. So each month on my Instagram account, I post a slide listing all of the fruits and vegetables and herbs that are in season for that month. So use this as a guideline when you're preparing your meals. So when you're eating with the seasons, you're eating the foods that are the right time for their maximum flavor, for their maximum freshness, and their nutrient content. The earth offers up a bounty of foods at the time of year when we need them for our health. So in the summertime, it'll give us hydrating fruits like watermelons and cantaloupe and things like that, because you need more, because of the sun's heat, you need more moisture in your body. In the winter, it offers up citrus fruits like lemons and limes and oranges, because we need the vitamin C to help ward off colds and things like that. And in the summer, we have lots of berries, things that give you lots of vitamins to kind of help with the transitions of the seasons. A lot of people have allergies this time of year, and it really helps to eat what is in season. So I'm going to give you, on the next slide, I'm going to show you what's in season for April. So if you want to, take a screen grab of it and cook from this list. So you can see in season in April, the fruits are lemons, limes, mandarin, oranges, strawberries, all the berries right now. For vegetables, artichokes are in season, arugula, asparagus especially are at their peak. Cabbage, all the different color cabbages, green, purple, whatever. Cauliflower, chard, chicory, collards, dandelions, endive. Fava beans are in season in spring. If you've ever cooked with fava beans, they're really delicious. Wild garlic is available right now. Kohlrabi, which is probably something that most of us haven't cooked with. So there are some odd things that are in season too, but give them a try. Leeks, all the lettuces, mustard greens, onions, parsley, peas. Peas are really in season right now. Radishes, scallions, they're called spring onions for a reason. They're in season in spring. Spinach, turnips, and watercress. Watercress is also a good green to add to your salads. So eat what's in season, and you're sure to feel a little bit better. Tip number 6 is to eat fish once a week in place of meat. Now, fish, especially the fatty, oily fishes that they recommend on the Mediterranean diet, are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for your heart health. Spring is a great time to add fish to your diet or to your dinner repertoire. In spring and summer, these fishes are especially in season. So I've listed them here. Salmon. Salmon is always readily available in the supermarket, really easy to find. Swordfish, tuna, flounder, bass, and bluefish. They're the ones that are in season right now. You can probably find more at your supermarket. And fish can be very simple to prepare. So what I usually like to do is I place it on a sheet pan. I brush it lightly with a little olive oil. I put some fresh herbs on top. You can wrap it up in foil or parchment, or you can leave it open and just pop it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And it'll be done in about 20 minutes, depending on the thickness of the fish. You can add your leafy green, you can add a potato, maybe some whole grains, and there you have a healthy, delicious dinner. So try adding fish in place of meat once a week. And if you really don't like fish that much, or if you don't know how to prepare it, or you're a little scared to prepare it, because I didn't know how to cook fish, do something simple like have a tuna salad sandwich. Canned fish is just as good. So try having a tuna salad sandwich for lunch instead of ham and cheese or some kind of deli meat sandwich. So try adding fish once a week. Tip number 7 is to go meatless and dairy-free one day a week. Now, right away, I know that everyone's going to be like, oh, that sounds so hard. But just one day out of the week, try having a day where you don't eat any meat, cheese, and you don't drink milk. Now, this could be the day that you eat your fish, or you could try to go vegetarian for the day. And just, you don't have to not have your coffee and tea. Just try a plant-based milk and see if you like it. So try that in your coffee and tea, or try having it with none at all. And just for that day, load up on vegetables, eat your whole grains, eat beans and lentils so that you don't go hungry, and just see how you feel. See if you sleep better that day, and see if you wake up feeling better the next day. This is the way people in the Mediterranean eat almost all the time. They eat meat sparingly. They'll eat fish more often. They might eat poultry a little more often, but most of the time they're eating a lot of vegetables, and sometimes it's things that they grow themselves. So I don't know if they go dairy free because the cheese is a big thing in the Mediterranean. But just try to do it for yourself and see if you feel better not having the lactose in your body or the enzymes that are in cheese just for one day a week. Just give it a try. Now, tip number 2 is herbal iced teas. When the weather starts warming up, we need to keep hydrated. So instead of reaching for a caffeinated beverage or a sweet tea or a soda, try an herbal iced tea drink. They're very refreshing. Now, I know a lot of people tell me that they don't really like to drink water that much. So, you can drink water by adding fruit and things to it, but you can also make your own herbal iced tea. So some of my favorites, I have a mint tea or a mint herbal tea blend that I like, and I use it and I make iced tea. I have an orange spice. I think it's just by Bigelow. It's just called Orange Spice. And I have a new favorite, which is chamomile lavender, and it just smells so good. It's a wonderful as a hot tea, but I also really like it as a beautiful iced tea. I feel like lavender is one of those magical ingredients, like olive oil. You can use it in so many ways. Lavender, it's calming, it's soothing, it's healing, relaxing. It smells lovely. You can ingest it. You can use it on your skin. You can use it as an essential oil. So try finding an herbal tea that just smells beautiful and that you think you'll enjoy, and try making it as an iced tea and sip that during the day on these warmer weather days to help yourself keep hydrated. I also like to drink green tea, and I like to drink oolong tea, and I like black tea, and they all make great iced teas. But the point of this tip is to do something caffeine free. So the herbals are naturally caffeine free. So try to do caffeine free for one day. Tip number 9 is to treat your body kindly. Now, your body is your best friend. It walks with you through your whole life. So treat it kindly. Feed it good foods, moisturize it, pamper it, take it for a walk, give it some fresh air and sunshine, buy it some flowers, fill your brain with beautiful thoughts. So this also goes for your mind as well as your body, this tip. So a long time ago, I stopped watching the news because the news is always just bad news. So if something really awful is going on in the world, I'm sure to find out about it another way, but I don't really need to sit and watch the news every night and see every little local story about some tragedy that's happening to somebody. I feel bad for them. They make me feel bad. They bring me down. So I just stopped watching the news. So treat your body kindly, and that includes your brain as well. And instead, fill it with things like reading a nice book or looking at art or listening to beautiful music. So spring clean your diet by treating your body and your mind kindly. Now, here's tip number 10. This is my final tip. And I have some homework for you. So I want you to go out and I want you to get 2 books. So you can buy them, you can borrow them from someone, you can check them out of a library. I want you to choose one that is a lighthearted summer read that's fun and relaxing. Something that can take your mind on a vacation to an exotic location. Let it be frivolous, let it be fun. And then choose a second book that expands your skills in some area. So I've been reading books personally about personal finance and personal branding and financing. And maybe you want to brush up on your design skills, or you want to learn about business, or you want to learn to paint, or you want to learn to write. So buy a fun book and buy a book that teaches you something and expands your skills and helps you get into your future self. So read something that your future self will be proud of. 2 books. That's all I ask. So I would like to spend a little time here telling you about an exciting new program that I have coming up. It's called the Mediterranean Weight Loss Program. So starting on May 1st, I'm offering a new weight loss program that combines the benefits of a Mediterranean diet with healthy lifestyle tips. This program runs for 4 weeks and includes weekly lessons that come from Zoom. They'll be video recorded. You won't have to be there live. They include daily inspiration that comes in the form of an email. There are workbooks involved. There will be meal planning exercises. There will be loads of delicious recipes. And the best part of it is that each person who signs up gets a free private one-on-one coaching call with me. I want to give you each personalized attention, and you can schedule this call anytime during the month of May. And when I've run programs like this in the past, I've done the lessons live, and then I gave the opportunity for people to be coached on the call. But I find that some people are uncomfortable speaking in front of everyone. So I changed it this time. The lessons will be on video. You can watch them at your leisure. And then you get to schedule one private call with me. So no one's listening in. It's just the two of us, and you can talk about anything that you want without fear of anyone listening in. I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to get that one-on-one attention. So I designed this program to show you how easy it can be to lose weight naturally by making healthy adjustments to your eating habits. And I use this exact plan to kickstart my own weight loss. Now, weight loss is a journey, so this is going to get you started in 1 month, and then it will teach you the skills to continue on. When I followed this plan for the first time, this is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you. I lost 10 pounds in 1 month, and I had a male partner who was doing it with me, and he lost 12 pounds. And we felt more energized and younger than we have in years. And we didn't cut out carbs, we didn't count calories, we didn't go hungry. We simply lived a Mediterranean life. So this program, like I said, is 4 weeks. So on week 1, we're going to make simple adjustments that you will see will lead to big health benefits, sort of like the simple adjustments that you learned in today's lesson. In week 2, we're going to go into more detail about the Mediterranean diet and its benefits, and then start eating the Mediterranean way after you get used to making the small changes. On week 3, you're going to learn how to deal with cravings and snacking and what to do when that happens. On week 4, you're going to learn how to deal with any setbacks and how to take this lifestyle into the future. So to take what you learned and continue your journey on. I promise that it will be fun and that you're going to love the food. So if you are interested, I put the URL on the screen here. It's DonnaDeRosa.com, and then it's the Mediterranean Weight Loss Program. Or you can just go to my homepage at DonnaDeRosa.com. It's right at the top, and you can click a button that will give you more, take you to a page that shows you more information. So registration is open now on my website. The program starts May 1st. So for watching my spring cleaning presentation, I would like to offer you an exclusive discount code that'll give you 10% off the price. So use the code MEDDIET when checking out, and the discount will be automatically applied. So I hope you join me for this exciting new adventure. Thank you for joining me on this call. So if anybody has any questions, now will be the time to ask them. And if you are watching this on the replay, this code will also work for the rest of the month. Up until the end of April, it will give you 10% off the price. So if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions about what you learned here today, if you have any questions about the Mediterranean diet in general, or this new weight loss program, or if you want to be, have questions about anything that you see on my website, please just respond to any of the emails that you get. So if you signed up for my Spring Clean Your Diet program, you're getting email reminders. There's going to be one more email that comes out that will include the replay of this recording, and it'll have the links to where you can go to find this out, and it'll have the discount code in there as well. So that's all I have for you today. So if anyone has any questions, now's the time to ask. I like to end with a quote as well as beginning with one. So the ending quote today is, "Spring is the time of plans and projects." And that's by Leo Tolstoy. So spring is the time I feel like is a time of renewal, when we want to do new things. I know this time of year, the weather starts getting warm. And the first time I had to go outside without a jacket on, I felt naked, right? You feel odd. So that's why I'm doing this Mediterranean diet plan for May, because I think now's the perfect time before you have to put on your bathing suit, before you have to start wearing less clothing. Now is the time to get started on that healthy eating plan. So thank you so much for joining me today. And like I said, you can respond to any of the emails you get from me, and I will get back to you. Thank you. Have a great day.